happened in the evening when you started to fade away. Now my heart says you're leaving. I hope to see you again someday. Why did it have to happen? Why did it end this way? You know I miss you every moment. Doesn't matter if it's night, doesn't matter if it's day. I can't stop the pain inside. This is a last goodbye.
President Trump has restored the idea of America.
Keep America great! Exclamation point.
The Dow Jones made history today, closing over 26,000 points for the first time.
This is a standout report.
He's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What magic wand do you have?
Hand me down the walking cane. Hand me down my hat. I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. The collusion delusion is over. You're fake news. Unbelievable. So dishonest.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President. Mr. President, are you...
That's enough. Put down the mic. So much winning. Everything he does.
Every day is NASCAR.
Seems to come out right.
Donald Trump, keeper of promises.
Man, all it moves is just keeping time. How in the world did he learn that? Oh, Lord. Oh, help me get away. I am with you. I will fight for you. And I will win for you. America is winning again. You're helping November 3rd, 2020. Can you believe? It's right around the corner. So you ready? Let's go. Let me hear it. Make America great again. Thank you, Texas. Thank you. Goodbye, Hillary. Bye.
Okay, sorry for the delayed start, folks. Work called, so work has to come first. Sorry about that. We have Sandra Jones back with us, but it seems like she's having an audio issue. So hopefully Sandra can resolve that and she can jump in and give us a...
Can you hear me, Bill?
Yes, I can hear you now. Welcome aboard, Sandra. Sorry about the delay. Work called, and work has to come first.
Yes.
So... welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna get right into it with Kansas. Okay.
Okay.
I think you mentioned that last week. I think the state primary is August 4th, 2020. I think maybe that date we saw previously was changed and updated. So it looks like the state primary is August 4th, 2020. Let me pull that up on the screen for everybody to see. A lot of my things are out of whack because I was helping somebody on their how to do their show stuff. So there we go. We got it up.
Bill, can you send it to me?
Sure can.
Oh,
do it right now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Copy. Let's see. Let's find you here. Oh, give me 1 second, Sandra, and I'll send it to you. And we're in Kansas. So that sheet I send you, you can always go back to the homepage and click on the state like we talked about last week. That's what I like about this website, is you can just jump from state to state.
Okay, I need to get in there.
Let me find you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, you found it?
No.
Okay.
Well, I found it, but I got to find how to get to another state.
Just go back to the home page. In fact, why don't we show the audience how to do that so that they can look at this website as well themselves. Let's get rid of that. So in U.S. elections, uselections.com, you see the top where it says U.S. elections. If
Yes.
you click underneath where it says state elections, scroll down and you see the map with hyperlinks. So if you want to look at Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, or your own state, like mine of New York, you click on that hyperlink and it'll take you right to New York. Now to get back, you can always hit state elections again, and there's the map again. Is it working for you?
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, races, state. All right, we're doing Kansas.
Yes.
Yay, I did it.
Yep, it works. So everybody, hey, Boogie Bumper out there, David 661-369. How y'all doing today? Geez, another Doc Martin thing. I just said, how y'all doing? What in the heck is wrong with me?
I know, you just can't help it.
Yeah, what is going on? Keep getting stuck in the Doc Martin zone here.
At least it's a good zone.
I guess so. It might get me beat up here in New York.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So,
That's
just said,
funny.
how y'all doing? What in the... Trying to look to see who's in the chat. Sorry about the late start. Platinum Mimi, welcome aboard. Okay, so we're in Kansas today, and we're down to U.S. senators, and there are some senators up for re-election or election in 2020. So I guess I'll start out with Pat Roberts is retiring in 2020. So you got Chris Kobach, Dave
Because you'd
Lynch.
be in jail.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the diamond boogie bumper. I can't do it as good as well as Kimmy can. Where did you steal the diamond boogie? Okay, Dave Lindstrom, Roger Doc Marshall, currently a congressman, Brian Matlock, Steve Roberts, Gabriel Robles, Susan Waggle, and that's the Republican primary for the Senate seat in Kansas. The other Senate seat is held by Jerry Moran, and he is not up for re-election until 2022. House of Representatives, and I'll do a couple of these, and we may jump to another state here because Kansas does not have a lot of congressmen up for re-election or election. Okay, Roger Doc Marshall, who is currently running for the Senate seat up above. We saw that, and I'll scroll back. I know I saw his name there. Roger Doc Marshall. He's in the primary for the Senate seat. Holds District 1. And that's why you're seeing Republicans running for that seat now in District 1. Bill Clifford. Tracy Mann. Michael Stotart. I hope I said that right. Troy Waymaster. And Brandon Williams. District 2. Steve Watkins, Republican. And he's been in office since 2019, but he does have a challenger, and that's Jake LaTurner, State Treasurer, state senator and ex-congressional aide. District 3, Sharice Davids. And she's a Democrat. It's been in office since 2019. So very recent. Must have been, I'm guessing, a special election because it's 2019. Or was that the 2018 election and they were sworn in January? So she's been in office since 2019. And when we break this down, when we have an official Republican candidate for District 3, we will also tell you how Sharice voted on impeachment.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll let everybody know Sharice voted on impeachment and what her voting percentage was with Nancy Pelosi, which is available out there on various websites. We'll break that down. We'll tell you her voting record on impeachment and her voting record as a percentage with the Nancy Pelosi wing of the Democrat Party. So running against...
Well, my guess is going to be 100% because she's a Dem, right? Or no?
Well, Anthony Brindisi, what they do is if you're in a district that is vulnerable or purple, what they do is they allow you to vote no on certain measures once they know they have enough votes to pass it.
Okay.
So they'll say to Sharice, yeah, we know you're in a tight district. You're in a tight district. And,
right.
You know, we want to throw some ability to vote no on a few of these measures that are unpopular. So, yes, Mike Howard. That's a perfect name for Mike. Awesome. Mike Howard, I think, instead of Mike Cowan, I'd say Mike Howard, right? Mike Howard. Coward. Yep. Trolling. Okay, so Sharice Davids is running, and the Republicans in the primary against Sharice are Amanda Adkins, Adrian Foster, Sarah Hart Weir. It shows District 4 is Ron Estes, Republican, been in office since 2017, and there's nobody below, so nobody from the Democrat Party is challenging that seat. So that's good. Now, we're going to jump over to another state. And let's pick another one. I saw a few out here with very low. Let's go to Iowa. So I'll let you go through Iowa.
Alrighty. All right.
I stopped at the date of the state primary too, so we can let everybody know what the primary date is.
The primary is June 2nd, 2020.
So that's coming up pretty
presidential caucuses. This is exciting. February 3rd. That's coming. All right, let's see. So, U.S. senators, Joni Ernst, Republican, holds the seat. The election's 2020. And we have one Republican, Paul Reich, scrap metal worker, going against. That's interesting.
When Michael Coward 4 actually says something factual, I'll reply to him, but until then, just ignore him. So we want Joni Ernst. I think Joni Ernst is pretty popular in Iowa.
Okay. Votes good and does good stuff.
Yes, and I think she sided with the president enough. Not sure who Paul Reek is, but we'll see what happens in the primary. And obviously, we're going to back whoever wins the primary.
We're going to build the wall.
Good morning, McRae.
Yes. Okay. So we've got District 1 right now has Abby She's a Democrat. And it's all Republicans going against her. So we've got Thomas Hansen. He's a refrigeration contractor, farmer. Ashley Hinson. She's a state representative, ex-TV news anchor. Darren White, service custodian. So here we go again, which is what we talked about and we like so much, Phil, is regular normal people are running. It's really refreshing.
Yes, it's not attorney.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we've seen in the past.
Yes, exactly. District 2, we've got Dave Lobinsack. I hope I'm saying that right. He's retiring. He's been in office since 2007. So for Republicans running for that seat is we've got Stephen Everly, electrical contractor, Marionette Miller Meeks, she's a state senator, optometrist, Rick Phillips, he's an appliance repair shop owner and a veteran, Bobby Schilling, businessman, ex-congressman from Illinois. All right, District 3, Cindy Axney, Democrat, and we've got all Republicans again going against her. Brad Huss, Acme School Board member, Bill Schaefer, retired Army colonel, Josh, he's a media buyer, David Young, ex-congressman, ex-congressional aide.
Well, nice. No attorneys again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I gotta tell you though, I wonder why they're ex-congressional aides and stuff.
Well, they can, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It depends on who they were a congressional aide for, but they do have some experience in the workings of Congress, which is, if you're fresh and new, it does take you some time to catch up to speed with the rules and how things work.
Okay. All right, and our last district, which is District 4, Steve King, he's a Republican. He's been in office since 2003, and he has got 4 people trying to take his seat. That would be Randy Feenstra, a state senator. How do you go from senator to congressperson?
That's a state senator, which each state has their own Senate, and like in New York State, they call it, instead of the Congress, they call it the Senate, the Senate and the Assembly. So instead of like a congressional seat, you get an assembly seat in New York. Each state varies a little bit. Some of them have assemblies. Some of them have, I can't remember the name of it, but it's not exactly mirroring the federal. So like in New York State, it's an assemblyman instead of a congressman. But we do have state senators, so we have a state senate.
Okay. All right. Well, so District 4. First thing that came to mind was staffers from retiring members. Yeah, that's a good point too.
Right.
Okay, so
it might not be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Although they do know their way around the corruption, depending on who the staffer was a staffer for, right? If it was a staffer for Dianne Feinstein or Nancy Pelosi, then yeah, you'd have to be really wary of who that staffer was working for as well. But with that said, as we said in the past shows, that we will back the R no matter who it is at this point. We have to win back the House to stop the shift shows that are going on now.
You got that right, Bill. You got that right. Okay, so our 4th district candidates, we've got Randy, which I already said. All right, so Steve Reeder, real estate developer, real estate broker. Brett Richards, ex Irwin mayor, retired businessman, Army vet. Jeremy Taylor, Woodbury County supervisor, National Guard officer, pastor, ex state representative. And then we have J.D. Schulten, paralegal, ex minor league baseball player.
And that's the Democrat.
Oh, that was a Democrat. My bad. Thank you.
McRae says, but insider info might help. Yes, depending on who that is, because if you don't have any experience in Congress, some of these seasoned Democrats can run right over you with the rules, and they know every single trick in the book at this point, right? So it does take you time to get up to speed with how things work, because all of these seasoned Democrats will run roughshod all over you. So, you know, we're going to jump into another state. Why not? We just cleared Iowa. And again, I just want to give everybody an update on our meme war room. We are working on that. I've got a Twitter page set up. I'll release it once we start putting memes into it. We are having a meeting coming up this weekend, hopefully. Everybody can make it. We're going to set our meme templates and start making memes as soon as possible for the uncontested races. But we are waiting on a lot of primaries to complete. Obviously, Iowa, I think it was in June. Yes, June 2nd. So as soon as those primaries are complete and a winner is declared on the Republican side, we will create memes, get them on the Twitter page, and everybody can spread them as far and as wide as possible. Even if it's not your state, we ask that you spread those memes out there just to get the name recognition out there. That's the biggest thing. Wouldn't you agree, Sandy?
Yes, for sure. I went to the state of Alaska.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see. And Dan Sullivan, he's been in office since 2015. He is Republican, and he has independents running against him. And then we have another senator, I believe, Lisa Murkowski. She's a Republican. Oh, that's not till 2022. Okay. So.
And here's the thing. Now, I know a lot of people that are Republicans, and even some Democrats are wondering, why is Lisa Murkowski doing what she's doing, and we need to get rid of her. But that's not until 2022. So the logic we're using is we got to win the House. Trump will guide, and I think James said the same thing, Trump will guide these Republicans in the right direction. At least there won't be sham impeachments every other week, right? Or investigations, nonstop investigations to get rid of Trump. We have some certainty that Trump will win, but we're not going to take that stance either, because we need to fight for every vote. But with that said, in 2022, there's an opportunity to primary Murkowski at that point. If we have the House and Senate and Trump at the presidency, it should be an easy ride to primary some of these rhinos out. So, but for the time being, we have to get that House back and keep the Senate.
Yes.
We don't want to be overconfident. We want to keep that Senate. We want to win that presidency, but we also have to win back that House to stop this insanity that's going on.
Yeah, seriously. It's ridiculous.
And again, I'll reiterate, there are a lot of working class Democrats out there. So not all Democrats are bad. Maybe they're just Democrats because they're in the union, the auto workers union, whatever union is out there, and their parents were in that union. That's how it usually works with union work, is it's passed down from family to family. You have to know somebody, right? Hey, Wise Censored, how are you? You have to know somebody to get a union job. I'd say a good percentage of the time, right? Would you not agree?
I totally agree.
So their grandparents and their parents were Democrats, right? Union Democrats, but they're blue collar.
Yeah, and I think unions also meant something a little different than they do now. I don't know. I think the whole everything has changed. It's nothing like it used to be.
Well, interesting statistic for everybody out in the audience is that at the last Trump rally in Wildwood, New Jersey, after polling the crowd, 26, or maybe it was higher, I'm trying to recall off the top of my head, but 26% of the attendees were Democrats.
Yes, I'm going to pull that real quick because I always look at that and I was like, man, seriously? The Democrats are in trouble. Again, we're not taking it for granted, but holy cannoli. According to, okay, so here's Brad Pascal's statistics. 158,632 requested tickets. There were 73,482 voters identified. 10.4% did not vote in 2016. 26.3% were Democrats. So right there, that is 30% increase in who's going to come out to vote.
Exactly.
I mean, it's really kind of exciting. Well, it's not kind of, it's totally exciting.
Well, this is why you are seeing what you're seeing in the Senate right now. They know this. Believe me, these Democrat Party, they have pollsters that are telling them the truth. So they have their internal polling, and internal polling is probably not as good as they thought it would be, considering 3 years of just nonstop 92, 93, 94% bad coverage in the media of Donald Trump. So, and I just saw a comment, and I'm going to try to scroll back on the comment and see what it was. But I just saw that McRae, where was it? McRae says, I was a blue dog Democrat, but I don't like what the D Party has become. So we are seeing a lot of that. So that's why I implore people there are definitely working class, reasonable Democrats out there that are fed up with what they're seeing. And that is evident by the 26+% at the Trump rally, right? Thank you, Ben.
Yes, thank you, Ben.
So 26+% at the Trump rally in Wildwood, New Jersey are Democrats like McRae, who have said enough. We've had enough of this.
Yes, and the thing is New Jersey was going blue. Chris Christie turned them off so bad that New Jersey started going blue. And I guess, it's just not going very well. Which when does the Democrat vote go well? So they're coming back. And I believe it has to do with, one, the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Two, this morning there was a what do you call it? There was a commercial on from Bloomberg. Now I'm in Illinois. He's over in New York, right?
Yes.
He does this commercial about how much Trump hates the veteran. I was like, that is a straight up lie. Because if there's anything we know is Trump loves his veterans. I could not believe it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all they have now is flooding the airways and the TV channels with lies. That's all they have now. Remember, their philosophy is lie. If you tell a lie often enough, people start to believe it, right? As fact.
Yeah. And keep repeating it and repeating it. And I remember dilly saying, I don't have to tell the truth. Let's just say it. And
Yes.
I was like, that's terrible. But you know what? That is their playbook. That's what they do. And I could not believe it. And I have a friend who she doesn't want to claim she's a Democrat, but I think she just says that to me because she doesn't want to hear my mouth. Because she was staunch. I'm a staunch Democrat. And I'm like, how can you even claim it? Like, aren't you embarrassed?
Well, I think most reasonable people, that includes Republicans, Democrats, and independents, are looking at the Senate trial with Adam Schiff, just spewing lie after lie after lie, and they're going,
Yes.
this guy is a little out of control. He's just lying in the Senate. So, I've
It's so
even seen Democrats
unbelievable.
on Twitter say that's not true what he's saying. I agree. He's lying. So, but
Yeah, something has to give.
well, that explains every day they say the same thing over and over. So what you want to do is repeat the lie. Just keep repeating it over and over and over, and then you're going to have soundbite after soundbite on the mainstream media repeating the same lies.
When is there going to be accountability for that? I think that is one of the biggest questions. There has to come a point where there has to be a concept. He is in. Isn't this a trial going on right now?
Yes.
He is lying in an impeach. There has to be a consequence for that.
Well, I don't
and
think
who's going to call him out?
I don't think there are any consequences for that right now, but I think down the road you may see some additional rules added to the impeachment. Just as some people are saying there are going to be some additional rules added to impeachment now, to prevent this from happening again, bringing impeachments based on supposition and opinion and virtually mind reading. And Boogie Bumper in the chat says most reasonable people. No, most people aren't reasonable.
That's true, Boogie.
Yeah. So they're looking at the same. See, here's a conundrum for the Democrats. They're repeating the same thing over and over, which is actually turning people off. Well, we've heard this already. We've heard this already. We've heard this already. And then, as the Democrats are testifying, Adam Schiff yesterday was a prime example of not answering the questions. I caught that a few times while I was listening to the questions being asked from the Chief Justice, that it was nothing but filibustering or just spinning it, but never actually answering the questions. And I think a lot of people caught that. Here's your question. It was a straightforward question, but never answered it. I think he did that quite a few times yesterday.
Yeah, misdirecting.
Yes.
Or redirecting, and how many people are really paying attention to see that? I personally, I had it on my TV, but I had it muted because I can't, he just annoys me.
Well, now here is the, just a little bit more analysis on this, and we may jump into one more small state before we go. Geez, I just forgot where I was going with that. I've got short-term memory loss. But the witnesses. Now, it's not going to look very good to most people out there, especially independents, if Trump is not afforded the witnesses he wants. Or the Trump team, I should say, the Trump team of lawyers. So, if you don't allow the whistleblower to testify, what happens then? To people out there who are semi paying attention. Well, wait a minute. Isn't this the guy they said had to testify? isn't this the guy that, started the whole thing? We're not going to hear from him at all? I think anybody with half a brain is going to say, well, wait a minute. Whoa. You can't allow this. We're talking about removing the president from office. You can't allow this? That's just my opinion, but I just see as if you're thinking about it from a person who doesn't really pay attention to it, is catching bites on the news, and they're not watching it, and they're not watching the clips. They're just catching what they're hearing on the radio on the way home from work, and they hear that the whistleblower is off the table, and that puts a big hole in the argument to impeach and remove.
Yeah, because it's the whistleblower that got the whole thing rolling.
Exactly.
Like, here's the thing. I'm going to just put and I am really okay with being wrong. I'm totally okay with being wrong.
We're going to build the wall.
Yay, thank you. Yes, we are.
Thank you for
I think they're going to get Bolton. I think Bolton is he's the bait for the Dems. Like, they think something really big is going to come from him. It's actually going to work out for us, in my personal opinion, because Trump is always setting traps. It's kind of like the leak is real, but the news is fake.
Well, here's the problem for the Democrats. If they bring Bolton, right now, there's an interview out there with Bolton saying both calls were fine. Cordial and whatever, pleasant and cordial. They don't actually know what Bolton's going to say. Despite the New York Times article, the same New York Times journalist that is being sued by Nicholas Sandmann for lying, the same New York Times columnist or whatever he is, calls himself a journalist, that was all in on Russian collusion and actually printed quite a bit of fake news.
Yes.
So, you got to be careful. He's got an unnamed source.
Yes, but see, that's the thing. It's like the Democrats are so desperate. They're so desperate that they're not even considering the possibility of this not going. Because this is said, and the whole thing will get blown to pieces. I personally want witnesses. I want the witnesses because I want the truth to come out. That's what I want.
I know I think most people want to see witnesses, but I think what you may see, and this is just my opinion, what you may see is no witnesses. And here's why. If McConnell's not going to allow the Democrats to run roughshod and say, we only get our witnesses, right?
Right.
If the Republicans just bring 4 witnesses, the whistleblower, Atkinson, Hunter, and Joe, that's all they really need. And I don't think any single Democrat wants that. So this is just a theory. You may see some Democrats be able to flip their vote, especially if they're in re-election or they're in a purple district. You're going to see some Democrats that are allowed to say no on witnesses, right? So that they can turn around and say we had to protect. Number one, we had to protect the whistleblower. That narrative yesterday that Schiff said over and over again was that we must protect the whistleblower, and I think even Schumer came out and said the same thing. Which is an absolute lie. It's not a fact of law that they have to never release his name or he can't testify to protect his identity. That's just not a fact of law. The whistleblower law does not say he's protected for life. And number two, which is the big number 2, should probably be number 1, is that he is Trump's accuser.
Yeah.
You're allowed to face your accuser. So they can't hold back the whistleblower. So My theory is that they're going to have a few Democrats vote no with the disguise of protecting the whistleblower, and
Yeah.
then turn around and say, "See, we need the Senate. If we had the Senate, we'd have the witnesses, and Trump would have been removed." I think it's a lot of play for the Senate. That's my opinion.
Huh.
To try to win
That's
Senate
good.
seats,
That's good
because
thinking.
there's more Republicans running for re-election or retiring than there are Democrats this time.
Yeah.
You have to kind of think outside the box, and this is how Democrats run things. I think they virtually have no case. They don't want that whistleblower testifying. They don't want Joe and Hunter brought in. And they don't want Atkinson brought in, because the Republicans are going to say, we want Atkinson brought in to knock down the whistleblower issue, right? If you're smart, you're going to call those four at minimum. The Democrats aren't going to allow that. They aren't going to let that happen. Do they want to see the whistleblower come to the Senate? Do they want to see Atkinson come to the Senate and have to tell you what he testified in that basement dungeon? Why are they still hiding that testimony?
Exactly.
There's a reason it's being hidden.
Yeah, because it doesn't help them. Because it was a perfect call, Phil. It was a perfect call.
Well, here's why how and why they can hide that transcript, McRae, is because Adam Schiff runs the committee and the Democrats are the majority.
Yep.
So if they put it up to vote, they could put it up to vote today. They could run back to the Congress and say, okay, we're going to convene the committee. Let's release Atkinson's testimony. And they could vote on it. Right now, the problem is the Democrats control that committee, and they are not going to allow a vote on that testimony to be released. That's why all of this was run through the Intelligence Committee, to prevent anybody from seeing this information. So I could be wrong, but I think I'm on a path of you're going to see no witnesses, in the guise of protecting some whistleblower.
Right. Well, what do you think? I mean, you think that's exactly what they're going to do?
I think so. I think their escape clause is the three Democrats that are leaning toward acquittal: Manchin, Sinema, and Doug Jones, because they are already out there leaning toward acquittal. That's pretty quick, right, for Democrats to make a decision that quickly?
Yeah.
So that may be the three that keeps prevents them from bringing witnesses. And then I guarantee you're going to see ad after ad after ad of we need that Senate. If we had the Senate, we would have had all the witnesses and Trump would be gone. We would have proved his guilt.
Yep.
See, it's all up right now. They know it's all a political game. They have no evidence. Right?
Yeah. Correct.
So they can certainly use Manchin and say, go ahead and vote no on the witnesses. They can use Sinema, go ahead and vote no. They are in states that they could easily lose. Now, Manchin's not up for re-election now, but he will be.
Right.
And he's in West Virginia, mind you. He's in a pickle right there. I vote yes for witnesses, and and they bring out, and I'm a Democrat, and they bring out the whistleblower, Atkinson, Biden, and Hunter. Yeah, it blows Schiff's entire narrative to pieces, and catches Adam Schiff in a flat out lie in the Senate, on the Senate floor. That's why they are adamant that the witness, one of the witnesses, can't be the whistleblower.
Yeah.
To me, that's the way I'm seeing it, how it's going to roll.
Well, it totally makes sense to me. I just think it's disgusting. I really do. I find it to be utterly just disgusting.
Oh, I saw that Mansion, McRae, that Mansion said Hunter is a probable, but what about the whistleblower?
Yeah.
See, he left himself an escape hatch right there by not bringing up the whistleblower. He said that Hunter is a probable, and maybe even Joe, but nothing about that whistleblower. See how that works?
Yeah. And the whistleblower is what got everything started. I mean,
Exactly.
it's kind of mind boggling. And how anyone could still support this BS with that, you know?
Yeah, David says the same thing. They just want the Senate. They want the Senate. They see the only opportunity. They may lose the House. I don't think they're a whole lot worried about it. They want the Senate.
Yeah.
They got more power if they have the Senate.
It's true.
Yep.
That's really true.
We'll see what happens tomorrow, but I'm starting to see a lot of talk about it ending tomorrow night. So either way it goes, it's a bigger win for us if they bring in Atkinson, the whistleblower, Joe, and Hunter. That's a huge win. But I just don't foresee the Democrats allowing that to happen, and the whistleblower will be the excuse.
Right.
Right.
I do agree with you. That's a very true statement.
So
I want the witnesses because I want this stuff to be closed up.
Well, if the witnesses come, the Senate can do nothing. Even if corruption's exposed, the Senate can't do anything anyway about it, right? And you're talking about months. We're going to be into February, March, April. We might be into May before we even hear testimony.
Wow.
Because of all the court cases that'll come out of it. And so, it'll drag out way too long. People can't keep their mind on this thing for more than 15 minutes as it is. And you're going to drag it out for months? I don't think it helps the Democrats either in a big election coming up.
Yeah, one of the things I do like, though, about it taking a long time is the senators can't go and, do their little 50 people rallies. And it doesn't stop the president. He keeps going.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Bernie Sanders has got to be sitting on his hemorrhoids right now, dancing in the seat, itching to get out there because Iowa is it Iowa that's in 4 days now?
Yeah.
The Iowa caucus. I mean, that guy is probably squirming right now to get the hell out of there so that he can go campaign, but he's stuck there.
Yeah.
All this is doing is helping other Democrats that are not senators. You think Elizabeth Warren is sitting on her wigwam right now, wanting to get out of there, like yesterday? Now she's
it's gotta be
playing,
driving me crazy.
She's pretending with the role of, I have to do my constitutional duty, but in the back of her mind is going, what the hell am I doing here? I need to be in Iowa campaigning. The caucus is in 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah. And how is it his opponents get to vote on his destiny? I think that's some BS too.
So
I've seen people bring that up.
Rudy is running podcasts with all of the information about the Biden corruption, right?
Yes.
I've got to believe that the DOJ under William Barr has all of this documentation now. We don't know if Durham is investigating it right now. Now, there is somebody that can expose it all and actually make arrests.
Yeah, I believe Durham and his son have been on top of it. Um, now, I got to cheat. I can't even say this is my own thinking. Boogie Bumper actually did a tweet, and Why Censored responded to him. And, of course, you read all the comments. But the question is, why is Rudy doing this, and why isn't the DOJ? And something that Rudy had said, which I found to be very interesting, is he can't get the visas for the people to come here to testify. So it's actually being blocked. So my question is this for public pressure to be applied to say, hey, this needs to, do we need to speak up as American citizens? Like, come on.
But you also
it's
have
supposed to.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you watch that podcast, Rudy mentions Italy and other countries that are not Ukraine, right? So Durham has been to Italy. So is Bill Barr. Both of them have been to the other countries. Now, all of the money laundering, you don't have to go to Ukraine. You can go to the other countries for the evidence.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to necessarily have to go to Ukraine right now, and you don't necessarily have to have the witnesses right now.
So then what would be his purpose, though? Why is he telling us all of this? Is it so that they act out and make mistakes?
I think it's just for public consumption right now. But like he has said in the podcast, money laundering cases are some of the most difficult cases to prove. So you have to build a really rock solid case, and that's probably what they're looking at now. You got to put all the connections together. Where'd the money go? Who got the money? Then you bring in new witnesses, or bring in the witnesses from Ukraine that you may need. But I'm sure Barr has the affidavits from the witnesses and Rudy did get them affidavits from all the sworn affidavits from all the witnesses. So just bringing in those people now would ring giant alarm bells with the people that are involved. And Rudy is going to expose the congressmen's names, which, yeah, that's going to create quite a stir, right? When you start hearing names.
Yeah.
But if Barr brought in Shokin and 3 other people that want to testify now, you don't really need them now. Why do you need them right now?
Yeah. You don't.
You don't. You're building your case based off of the information you got from Italy and other countries that you've been to.
Man.
Because transferring money from Ukraine to Italy, that's okay, fine. They moved money from Ukraine to Italy. But where'd that money go after it hit Italy, right?
Right.
And that's where you can start seeing, okay, this one's involved, this money got moved over to here, it got moved over to there, and then made it over to here. Right? You got to go from the back to the forward. So Ukraine isn't the biggest issue right now. You got to work the case. It's a money laundering case, essentially, which you have to have rock solid evidence to prove that.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're still in Alaska. There is an at-large seat. Don Young is a Republican, and Elise Galvin is running as a Democrat / independent, which is kind of a sneaky way to get more votes. But
yeah,
he's been in since '73, so
yeah,
I imagine he's well liked. Do you want to do
one
more
and then
state?
Here's my question: Why don't the Republicans bring in since '73? How old is Don Young?
I don't know. Young, I would guess.
Oh.
You want to do one more small one?
Yeah.
Oh, how about Joe Biden's home state, Delaware?
He is okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, Donald Edwin Young. He is 86 years old.
Wow, I can't believe he's running again, but As long as he's a Republican, we'll you have to get out there and vote for him.
Yes, please. Okay, which small one are we going to do now?
A great state of Joe Biden's home, Delaware. We'll go through that one. That's a small one, and that'll make up the hour we were out of whack here because of my job. Sorry, folks.
All right, we've got their September 15th, 2020 is the state primary.
Wow. I picked a good one there. They've got, okay, we're down to the senators here.
Yeah. So, John Carney, he's a Democrat. And then you've got David Lamar Williams Jr., no Republican.
Where are you? Sorry.
Are you in Delaware?
Yep.
All right, maybe I was up top.
Oh, that's for governor. We'll go down to Senate.
Okay. All right, you want to read it?
Okay, we got Chris Coons, Democrat. You've got nobody running against him. He's being primaried by Scott Walker, and not the Scott Walker from Wisconsin. Mark Turley, independent. Let's see what he is. I'm going to go out there and see what he is. He's an owner. He's a business owner. I'm guessing he's independent. So, whoops! I just lost my site here. But he's an independent and a business owner. So, anybody is better than Chris Coons, I guess. We don't have a Republican. Another state that they're not running a Republican. But I used to live in Delaware. That's no excuse for them not running a Republican against Chris Coons. They should try. Yeah. It's been tried before. During the Tea Party days, somebody did try to run for a Senate seat in Delaware.
And how'd that go?
Well, they failed because the media trashed this person when I was there. But they got away with it too. But
when I lived in Jersey, I used to drive to Delaware to get my cigarette.
Well, in this day and age of, let me try to find the site again. In this day and age of people's non-belief in the media, right? People don't believe the media. They have a lower approval rating than Congress at this point.
Yeah.
So
people are starting to realize they just don't tell the truth.
Disappointing, but you got to get somebody out there to run.
Yes. What does at large mean?
That's like a person that has it's hard to describe. It's like a floater. That's the best way I can describe it. Someone who floats around. So
well, Lisa Blunt Rochester, she's a Democrat. She's at large, and there's actually a Republican going against her, Lee Murphy. Teacher,
excellent.
Actor, retired railroad worker.
And not a lawyer, not an attorney.
Right. Exactly.
And McRae is making the same point we keep saying over and over again. That is a reason Virginia lost the state Congress, by the way, many races with no Republicans. You've got plenty of money as opposed to the Democrats. You got to throw some change that way and get somebody to run. Whenever I think of Delaware, I think of Wayne's World. Hi, we're in Delaware. It's pretty much like that. Living there for as long as I did. Okay, so we went through quite a few states there.
Yes.
Don't forget, we will be firing up that meme Twitter handle and giving it to everyone. Share the memes of the states. We will get those rolling very shortly. We're putting our meme team together. You like that meme team? We're putting our
I like
meme team together, and we'll start dumping those memes into the Twitter handle. And we want you to spread them, even if it's not your state, not your district. Get the name recognition out there, because that's the biggest thing. Especially if you're running against a well-known Democrat, once the primaries are over, we got to get the name of the winner out there as quickly as possible and just keep recycling it out there. Hey, Joe Smith is running against Democrat so-and-so. Get that name cycled out over and over and over again. And
it's up to us.
Got to play the clip, Phil. Which clip, Ben? Ben's telling me to play a clip, but before Mean Green Meme Machine, meme team. Oh, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Don't let your
It was a mind
dreams.
twister. I was like,
Yeah, I'm gonna find. You can't forget this. Is this the clip? Oh, Wayne's World clip. Okay. Yeah, I don't have. But remember this clip, and I think we're gonna keep playing this one over and over and over. Where is it? Come on, you little.
Don't let your memes be dreams.
Were they deleting it? Don't let your memes be dreams. Oh, there it is.
Backs Donald Trump, that wants to think that Donald Trump's the smart one, and y'all elitists are dumb. Good God, Clement.
Belittling anyone for who they are.
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men.
Elitists are dumb.
Most of them radicalized to the right.
What they believe.
So, I know it's hard for you. You think it's hard to believe that Trump is racist, but he's repeatedly used racially charged language. He consistently attacks black and brown elected leaders. So why is that hard to believe, Pastor?
He does not just attack black people. He attacks anybody, and you know it.
Belittling anyone for who they are.
So as a man of faith,
what they believe.
As a Christian, you're saying he attacks anyone. It sounds like you're condoning attacks. Is that Christianly or godly?
I don't believe in belittling people.
I'm just stating a statement of fact. I'm not condoning anything.
Have some dignity.
Oh, my God. But
don't do things that are gauche.
You know what? But it was Rick's fault.
What are we, in junior high school? Like, what the hell? What is this? Or where they're from.
You elitists with your geography and your maps and your spelling, even though
your math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading.
We, the decent and truly patriotic people.
Your geography, knowing other countries.
Who really love America and believe in its greatness.
Sipping your latte.
All those lines on the map.
During an interview on Saturday night, one of my guests said something that made me laugh.
The credulous boomer Rube demo that backs Donald Trump.
And while in the moment, I found that joke humorous.
Donald Trump's the smart one, and y'all elitists are dumb.
And I didn't catch everything that was said. Rick, that was a good one. I needed that. Don't act like a 5-year-old and expect to be treated like you're, and expect to be treated with respect.
That wants to think that Donald Trump's the smart one, and y'all elitists are dumb.
Don't act like a child and expect to be treated like an adult. Don't be disrespectful to people, or not respectful. Disrespectful, I think, is not actually a word. But don't not be respectful to people and then expect to be treated with respect. This is literally crazy. Are you people insane? I don't believe in belittling people. Are you insane? Just to make this perfectly clear, I was laughing at the joke and not at any group of people.
Now remember,
I don't believe in belittling people.
Didn't mean to restart that, but remember, The statistics Brad Parscale put out there. 26+% of Democrats went to that rally in Wildwood. Think about that.
Yep.
Think about
They
that.
sure did. All right, Phil.
So
it's been a good show.
You know, Sandra, they're talking about all of us. Democrats, independents, all of us, right?
Yeah, they're talking about anyone that's not kissing their ass. Oh, pardon me.
You're talking about blue collar Americans, period. That they feel this way about everybody who's not a college professor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or someone in their liberal elite circle.
Yeah, they feel this way about the landscapers, the farmers. You know, they can't eat without these people. You know, the farmers are so important. All these jobs, all these different entities they're making fun of. You know, and we need to show them.
All right, we're working on a 2008 Ford Focus.
Sorry, Sandra. While you're talking, I'm gonna look for whatever Ben sent me. So I'm sorry to delay it a little bit more, but
no, that's all right. I mean, the thing is, yeah, they're saying that about all of us. We're all hardworking Americans. Even it's actually worldwide, to be honest. In my personal opinion.
Yes. So, that's why you're seeing 26% of hardworking blue-collar Democrats show up, because Trump has done more for the working people, factory workers, coal miners, just everyday
farmers.
Yes, farmers, everyday working people, regardless of whether they're Democrat or Republican. He's doing the work that they were promised for decades that no one ever did.
You know what I find really wild is how much he's been able to get done
Mm-hmm.
with none of the Democrats being able to help, or not that they're not able, but they don't help.
Because if the economy improves, if people are happy, what happens? They don't win.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. What they
yes.
want for us is what's happened in San Francisco, in California. That's what they want from us, or for us. You know, and Trump doesn't want that. Like, one of the things that I've always loved about Trump is before he became president and we got to see his penthouse, it was gold everywhere. He has the very best. And him representing our country, he wants the very best for all of us, not just the rich people, all of us. He wants our infrastructure dealt with. He wants everything. He wants us to have the very best. And until, like, I believe second term is when a lot of that stuff is going to start coming.
Yes.
Because he's had to, before you can fix those things, you got to get the other things fixed.
Well,
it's all a process.
We're a little over an hour, so we're going to head on out. We'll see you next Tuesday. Sandra and I will see you next Tuesday. Don't forget, Saturday night is Promises Kept at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on DLive, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. And right after that is the Speakeasy Show. You may see Kimmy Wise Censored, Electrolux on that show. Sandra might be on, Grandma. You never know. It's a mixed bag every week. So that's at roughly around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As soon as I can get Doc to stop talking on Promises Kept. No, I'm just kidding. So we'll see you Saturday night, 8 o'clock. And you may see Sandra Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, everybody have a wonderful day. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us. And we thank you to the people that watched the replay.
And just for Ben K. Veritas, I'm going to play a 40-second video here.
Time and space. It's called chroma key, and it's really handy if you want to go to New York. Hey, we're in New York. I got a gun. Let's get to a Broadway show.
I guess kids get this. Oh, they love it.
Yo, taxi. Or maybe you prefer Hawaii. Mukalakahiki. Come on, you want to lay me? Pass the point, mahalo. I say you want to go to Texas. Howdy, partners. Let's raise and rope Broncos.
Let's go down to the floor.
Howdy, y'all. Or imagine being able to be magically whisked away to Delaware. Hi. I'm in Delaware. Time and space.
There you go, Ben. Just for you, buddy. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate all of you joining, and keep your eye out for our Twitter at WinningTV _ at WinningTV _ for the meme room that will be coming out, and spread those memes. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye now.